Please excuse us while we try something new. Hi,
Everyone
you
are
listening
to
the
Totally
90s.
Podcast.
We,
Our
your,
hosts
Steph.
and Nini.
Woo! Okay, that was pretty good for the first time.
And I thought I was going to mess it up.
No, I messed it up. Hi, everybody. So we thought we'd be cute and do a little ode to Rachel and Phoebe season, what, 8?
Yeah, that was actually a good one because that was the one where Phoebe had her artwork.
Yes, with the mannequin coming
Yes.
out. What was her name? Teresa or something? Wait.
Something like that. I should have
Something hilarious.
Yes, it was. Steph,
Oh my God.
I'm like, Steph would know, you would, but Presley would know too. But that was such a good episode. But man, we did good. I'm pretty impressed.
You did good.
No, you did too.
I stumbled on the name.
And it got a little,
got a little choppy there, but we are your hosts. We're your hosts.
And I can't wait to hear it back.
I know, me too. Maybe we should like record it and take it on the road, like replace our music and just be like, "Hi, you are listening to the Night Price." Hi. I just made up 2 words.
You know what that reminds me of is Wayne's World, where they go to the drive-through.
Oh my God.
And he's
my God.
Skips every other word or something. Assuming that they won't know his order, and they're like, "Oh, so you did," and then it's like perfectly what. Oh my gosh, that was such a good movie. Sorry.
You know, when we were talking about 90s movies, tell me we mentioned Wayne's World.
You know what? That's so funny because when I think back to that show, I have to go back and listen again because I thought the same thing. I'm like, did we even mention that? I want to say we did because I remember myself saying swing, but I don't think so. It could just be me reverting to the 90s saying that a lot.
No, and also because I told you that me and Angel are going to dress up as Wayne and Garth for Halloween this year.
Love it.
I don't know if I said that during the podcast or to you, like in
to
passing.
Me, I think.
God, asshole. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So this is us apologizing to the 90s movies catalog because Wayne's World 1 and 2 were it.
Oh, yes, they were. I think we need to do another episode of 90s movies because there's so many that
deaf.
Yeah, there might even be a what do you call it? Not a trequel. What is it called?
Not prelude, a sequel.
A sequel, but then what's after a sequel?
Trilogy.
Okay, I'm like a trequel. Yes, there's so many good 90s movies, but Wayne's World was just the epitome of.
It's just the humor, and also. Hi, my name is Steph, and I was 41 years old when I realized that Mike Myers is Canadian.
Really?
Yes.
Oh man,
I should just assume. I know. I should just assume that everybody is Canadian.
Yeah, we should actually, because I was reading something today on our topic today, and I was like, "Oh, they're probably from Canada," which they weren't. But I've gotten used to everybody being from Canada when we ask that question.
I know.
But that movie though was so good. And Mike Myers, I just think he's adorable because
he's such a button.
One of my favorite movies too that he's in is So I Married an Axe Murderer.
And that you did bring up. Yes. I remember you bringing that up for sure. Yeah, he's so cute.
Such a delight, isn't he?
Yeah, and I just love whenever for me, I hear his voice and either Shrek comes to mind or Austin Powers.
Yeah.
And I am very much a fan of both. I mean, Austin Powers. Hi.
My gosh. You know what, Steph? He deserves an episode.
Definitely. Are you kidding me?
Because when you think of all of the movies he had had a lot during that time.
I say we do a whole month of comedians, and I say we start it with Jim Carrey because I've been wanting to do. I want to do a Jim Carrey episode so bad. I love Jim Carrey.
Yes, so do I. I don't care how people are like, "Oh, he's crazy," whatever. Lately, he's just adorable, and he's another one that is a 90s icon.
Icon for sure. Yeah. Stay tuned for those little eppies right there.
I love that. I love that idea. I'm gonna write that down just so I can remember, because I have a short-term memory problem.
You're adorable. Um, while she notes that, Neen, do you want to share with the world what we're going to be discussing on today's episode?
Yes, I will. We are going to talk about one
Drum
of the
roll.
best, I know, right? One of the best television channels of our lifetime in the
Wait,
90s.
before you say it, can I just call to mind that whenever you say channel, and I want to die a little bit.
Really?
Each time you say it, you go channel, and I'm like, oh, don't tell her, don't tell her. I had to tell you. I'm sorry. It's the cutest thing on earth.
Oh, you're so funny. I know I have weird ways of saying things. Channel.
I love
But
it. Never change
anyways,
it. But yes,
okay, I won't
what
because I
channel?
just it just rolls off my tongue like that. So we're gonna talk about the one and only Nickelodeon.
Oh, yeah.
Can we go down a rabbit hole with this?
It's going to be multiple parts for sure because we have cartoons and we have like Snick and then we
Mhm.
have like After Dark. So it's a whole array. So this will be sort of like an overview
Mhm.
because I feel like I could see us jumping around and
Yeah,
talking about all the greatness. So
completely.
let's do an overview. And I
Mhm.
say we just start with the freaking bombness that is Are You Afraid of the Dark? Now,
Oh, wow.
first of all, are you shocked that it's a Canadian American horror for kids
No,
TV
not at
show?
all. No.
Okay. It is Canadian. It is American. And
Mhm.
it is absolutely terrifying. I'm an adult and I still get scared from some of the episodes. Like
Yeah.
I love that I love that it's on Paramount Plus because as you know, I just
Mhm.
subscribed finally.
Yes.
And all of my shows are on there that I was obsessed with back in the 90s. So
Mhm.
I happened to just see Are You Afraid of the Dark is on there. So I'm going to be
Mhm.
going and repeating those. I know them all by
Man.
heart. But they were on the air on Nickelodeon from 92 to 96. I feel like it was a lot longer, but I think it's because it went into syndication.
Right.
But yeah, it was just everything. It was terrifying. Did it scare
Mhm.
you? Because I know like you don't get easily scared and did you
It actually kind of did in the sense that like for they did it so well that
Mhm.
when I first saw that one of the first episodes that I had ever seen, I actually thought it was a real story. Like it
Mhm.
was true. But then I realized, it was just a story and it was made for television. But what I liked about them was the fact that they made them scary, but it wasn't to the extent to
Yeah.
where I would get nightmares.
Okay. Okay.
It was
Yeah.
for me. And I read somewhere that they said that
Na
Nickelodeon,
na 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 na
right? See, I was kind of like
Nickelodeon.
channeling that. Um, they said they told ghost stories, but they didn't want them too scary. They wanted them to be to where it was just enough to give you that fright, but not enough to like really like traumatize young children because they
Right.
were aware of their audience, which I think is
Right.
amazing because you know who thinks like that anymore.
I know that's true. It's a safe space for kids, and you could
Hmm.
actually. I was thinking about how you were talking about you would let Presley on TikTok, for like the cute like animal videos and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But then you couldn't really leave her alone because you never know what's going to come up next. Now you
Right.
could leave her alone, like seated in front of Nickelodeon all day long, and she would probably be fine. She might
Yeah.
be scared of a few episodes of Are You Afraid of the Dark, but she's pretty
Hmm.
badass, so I'm sure she would just be like laughing at it.
Yeah, no,
But
for sure. And even the actors, they were
mhm.
they were pretty cool. Like they weren't like, I don't know, they just made it so likable even though it was scary. I wouldn't have changed the channel.
Yeah, I agree. I loved them all, and I realized when I was looking into some of the actors, that a few of them went on to do some pretty like
Mm-hmm.
big
Big time.
movies. Like the little cute blondie that okay, first of all, because dumb me thought that these kids those are really their names. Like
Mm-hmm.
I thought that Frank really was Frank, but no, Frank's actually some guy named Jason. But like the girl that played Megan, she's Alicia
Mm-hmm.
Cuthbert. And
Oh
so
yeah.
she was on several movies. And then like the other girl that was on there, I think it was another blonde. She was on the Clueless remake and she was on
Mm-hmm.
Seventh Heaven. And so like all these kids went
Mm-hmm.
on to do cool things. A lot of them
Yes,
are
they did.
Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought that was pretty cool. But I want to know. So I have a favorite episode, and I want to
Mm-hmm.
know. Actually, I have three, but I
Mm-hmm.
want to see if you remember. So the
Okay.
first one for me was the girl in the mirror, or
Yes.
not
Oh my
the
gosh.
or actually, sorry, there's two. So I'm gonna start with the one I just said. So the girl in the mirror,
Mm-hmm.
or the old lady in there was a one that had to do with a mirror, and it was this girl. She went to go stay for the summer at her friend's house or her cousin's house, and she would hear things across the way, and then she decided to go, or her stupid mean cousin was like, you need to sleep over there to prove
Mm-hmm.
yourself so you can hang out with us all summer. And then this little girl appeared in a mirror, and she would write help me, or say help me, remember
Yes.
the ghost. And then
Uh-huh.
long story, and so I would be terrified at night in my room seeing that little girl like looking all crazy. And then she, come to find out, like some bullies, I guess, had locked her in the closet and she
Mm-hmm.
died. What? That's awful. like I feel
That
like,
is.
so that's
Ugh.
one of my all-time favorites. And then the other one has to do with the mirror. Is this girl went to go work at a fancy store, and her
Mm-hmm.
boss was really pretty, and they promoted beauty lines, and
Mm-hmm.
she one time caught her boss looking at herself in the mirror, and she saw an old lady looking back at her, and it
Ugh.
was because she was stealing like the blood or something of the young pretty girls she would hire. Come on.
Oh my gosh. Man, you have good memory of those. I can't
Yes.
honestly, I remember the shows, but I
Yeah.
can't remember I when you brought them up, I'm like, "Oh my gosh," because I remember there was even one with like something about a float. I don't know, but there was a big rat. I don't know. Like to
Yeah.
me, it's kind of like they're memories that I have, but I can't like pinpoint the actual stories. But when you talk about them, I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember that. Like the lady looking back at them in the mirror, and you're like, ah, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Oh my gosh, so crazy. That is, I don't know. The writers of that were
Oof.
phenomenal. And they came back. I don't know if they already did, right? They're
Yeah, they came back, I think, under a different name or something. I noticed it was
Mhm,
like Ghost Town, or something, up until 2022 anyways. It's on
mhm.
Paramount. Um but I don't think it's called Are You Afraid of the Dark anymore. And
Uh,
very similar to Real World, I guess, like where they come
mhm,
back but different peeps. But yeah, they came back in 20, they took a long hiatus, and then
mhm,
they came back for the last three seasons under the
mhm,
names like Carnival of Doom, Ghost Island, and Curse of the Shadow. So I don't know if those are just episodes,
mhm.
but and they're under the same name, or but then each of these episodes, these last three that I've named, Curse of the Shadows has six episodes. So maybe it was like a whatever a six episode arc
Right.
is called.
Huh.
So maybe it's actually, so never mind, I take that back. It does look like it's under the
Wow.
name, but yeah.
Interesting. See, I don't know. It's so funny. These shows, like for a while, I forgot about a lot. And
Yeah.
then it wasn't until I was researching this, I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember these. And okay, so my one of my favorites, and it's not a show, it is a show, but it's a game show, which I didn't
Mhm.
realize was on Nickelodeon. For some reason, I thought it was on like Fox or something, but it was Legends of the Hidden
Oh my
Temple.
God, I freaking love that
Oh,
show.
yes. So
Ugh.
Legends of the Hidden Temple, they debuted in 1993 to 1995. It was only a couple years. I thought it was longer, but it wasn't because, oh my gosh. So, if you remember how Legends of the Hidden Temple was, basically, it's kind of like, I guess you could say, like, um, these kids go on, like, there's a temple behind them, and they have to, like, answer trivia questions. So, and they do like these ninja warrior
Hmm.
style type of like excursions, like optical, what is it called? Obstacle
Obstacle
course.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm telling you, I just wanted to be in that temple, and they're literally like their teammate, I think, is down answering the questions, and
Yes.
they're up in the back in the temple, and they have to, like, there's things dropping, like people coming out of walls pushing them, and they have to like get past all these things in order to get to the end. And if they get to the end, I don't know, they get points or whatever. Oh, I tell you, that was like kept me at the edge of my seat.
I mean, it was very much like a more, I don't want to say, no, it reminded me of Double Dare because Double Dare was in the
Yes.
80s and then they revamped it and brought it back
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. Remember Mark Summers, the host? He was so cute.
Oh, yes.
But like,
Double Dare, wasn't that on Nickelodeon as well?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's what Legends of the Hidden Temple reminded me, except no one's getting
Hmm.
slimed.
Right.
And I feel like the obstacle courses in Double Dare were more like for gross value, although I would have killed to have slid into a sundae.
Okay, or pick someone's nose for that flag. Oh,
Exactly. Oh my
man.
God. Or get slimed even. But
Oh,
like Legends
totally.
of the Hidden Temple, like the obstacles seem to be more yeah, I don't know.
Hmm.
You had to like think about things way more. I
Right.
loved that show. I used to love coming. I think it was on at 4 o'clock. I loved
Hmm.
it.
Right. And the music and everything and the host. It was just one of those shows that to this day you can mention, like I mentioned it to Tony or whatever, and it's like, oh my God, it's such a good show. It's like it's that one, like you said, Double Dare, and then there was another one. I don't remember, there was one where they go around a racetrack.
Hmm.
Do you know what that was called? And all I remember, it was like yellow. The host had blonde hair, and I don't know, they had to go down around a racetrack. And I remember these three game shows were huge back in the day. I'm gonna have to think of it, and I can't remember. But it was, I want to say it was on Nickelodeon, or was it on Fox? I can't remember. I don't know. Because Double Dare, was it always on Nickelodeon?
Yeah.
Okay, so it wasn't on Fox. Maybe like syndicated things were on different channels. I don't know. But I
Hmm.
mean, I tell you, they don't, when you think, I can't think of any childhood game shows nowadays other than like Ninja Warrior
Yeah.
that do these
Yeah.
things like this, where they have to ask you, like, they don't ask you questions though. And they ask
No.
you good questions. I got pretty smart off of some of the questions they asked. Like even in Double
Yes.
Dare, I'm like, ooh, which one?
I'm sorry, but we learned a lot from TV. I know parents
Hmm.
don't want to hear that, but
No, it's
thanks.
true.
Okay, thanks to Zach Morris, it always comes back
Hmm.
to Zach Morris. I learned how
Right.
to list all the planets in the order closest to the sun. Like,
Hmm.
thank you, TV. I didn't
Yes.
learn that crap in school,
Oh
but
no, it's so true.
no, but another one of my favorite shows. And I won't, spend too much time because it's a classic and I don't want to give it away. I want you guys to go watch it. Is Hey Dude, okay?
Oh,
I
you loved
love.
Hey Dude.
Yes, I had a big crush on the guy that played Ted, his
Hmm.
David Lasher. He was so cute that he went on to star in 90210, a couple
Hmm.
episodes. I thought
That's right.
Christine Taylor, who played Melody, was like the quintessential beautiful blonde. Like
Hmm.
she could have been on Saved by the Bell.
Hmm.
I loved it. I loved that they were on a ranch and they would go during the summer to go work on the ranch.
Hmm.
It was so cool. And like they would clean the stable. I don't know. They just made it so fun. And I think it's because I could see another one of my favorite shows besides Hey Dude was Salute Your Shorts. Now
Hmm.
the kids there would go off to summer camp. Now the
Hmm.
thing for me is because I never got to do that. I never
Right.
went off for summer camp. And
Hmm.
my parents were like, "Look, you're not sleeping underneath someone's strange person's like roof where I can't see you, or camp counselors are in charge of you."
Hmm.
And if I had a child, I don't know if I would send it off to summer camp either, but it was so cool. Like they would have their bunks
Mm-hmm.
And in both shows, they had their roommates, their bunk mates, and they'd stay up and they'd sneak, like out.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so cool. I love
Yeah.
both of those shows. And I love that I can rewatch on Paramount Plus. It was just,
No, for
both had a
sure.
really interesting theme song that was like an earworm, you couldn't get out of your head. Both
Yes.
had really good looking casts. Like it was just win, 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 win. So
Mm-hmm.
that's,
No, I agree. And I feel like those, because I was the same way. And I like how you said that, how it was, we didn't get to go to those type of things. I never went to summer camp. Like you said, my parents would say, hell no, right?
yeah.
But we got to live vicariously through them. And it made me feel like I was part of it. Like I got so excited to see certain things that's what I thought summer camp or, living on a ranch, whatever they did, worked on a ranch was like,
Yeah,
you know, and
exactly.
and it's just one of those, I feel like Nickelodeon captivated that. It's like I always, now that I'm older, I'm like, do they have like children that they talk to when they were thinking of these shows? Because even when I'm going to segue into my next one, which I know is the favorite of both of ours,
Um,
when you think of shows like Clarissa Explains It All, okay, that the whole freaking her room, her clothes, like to me, she was a more modern Punky Brewster,
excellent comparison.
right?
Oh my God.
Yes. When you think of like the window, how, her friend came through the window, her neighbor,
Oh my
and,
God.
the tree, like it's just the way her room was. And it was just a upgraded Punky Brewster kind of vibe.
Oh my
And
God. I feel like
her
I'm just waking up for the
quirkiness.
first time. Yeah.
I mean, who didn't love Clarissa? But
I,
wait, actually, I have a quick question before we get on Clarissa. Um, what's her name from Hey Dude? Oh gosh, I have it written down because I have a question I was going to ask you about that. Her name just slipped my mind. Christine Taylor. Okay, so Melody on Hey
yes.
Dude. Because in the 90s, she was part of the Brady Bunch movie remakes and she played Marcia. Um, she
Yes.
also married Ben Stiller and they were
Yes, she
married for a
did.
long time. A beautiful girl, right? But she has such a resemblance to Marcia Brady. Okay. So watching the show, Hey Dude, did you ever think that?
Mm,
Did you
well,
ever see a resemblance? Because I didn't. I mean, but when you look
I
at her when she's older, you're like, dang, they do look
yeah,
alike.
yes, older, yes, but sorry, I'm just picturing it. Maybe, but no, definitely older.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely
Yeah.
older.
Oh, okay.
God, I
Because I'm
forgot.
like, dang.
Sorry, now I picked what I'm playing in my head is the scene. Um, Dan, George Glass. What a moron. George
Right?
Tropicana. And she's all, sure, Jan. Sorry. That will forever be iconic for me.
Oh gosh, that's such a good movie. The remake, the first one of the Brady Bunch, is so good. Tony
Yeah.
never saw it.
How is he married to you and you never made him watch it?
No, for real. And he is a Brady Bunch buff. Like
Exactly.
us. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
He loves the Brady Bunch like nobody's business, but he never saw these movies. So I showed him and he was like, "Oh my gosh, these are freaking hilarious." Cuz they are. And I'm
But
sorry, but Christine Taylor, she looks so much like Marsha Brady. What's
older, like the way they made
Yes.
her look. And
Uh-huh.
the girl that plays Jan looks just like Jan. It's
Totally.
crazy. Sorry. I really want to watch that movie again.
Right? And and the music in the remake, oh, so good. If you guys have a chance, go and
Oh,
watch the Brady Bunch
I
movie.
watched that with you.
Oh yeah, I had that on replete.
Heck yeah.
Replete. I can't talk, people. It's a long
Make
weekend that we're
Angel
coming off of.
watch it. I don't think she's seen it. And I think it's hilarious. I don't because she didn't, I don't think she watched the Brady Bunch because I'll be singing, we're gonna keep
Oh
on.
my
And do the
goodness.
choreography in the kitchen
Yes.
and turn around.
Dancing all through the night.
Night. Lean in.
Hey, like, I mean, oh my gosh. I think we performed this before.
We
Like,
would.
oh, if
And
my
every
arm
time,
didn't hurt, I would have got
no,
up.
Seriously, like whenever it's a sunny day outside, you know what we're gonna sing.
Okay, it's a sunshine day.
Think I'll go for a walk
Walk outside
outside
now. The
now.
summer sun's calling my
My
name.
name. Anyways, back to 90s
Yes.
Nickelodeon. That was
Sorry about
awesome.
that.
No. That needed to be said. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because it's something because I know you watched Hey Dude more than I did, but she there's just such a strong resemblance, so I had to ask you. But
No.
anyways,
I had to think about it because I was picturing her. You know what it is, Neen, is that in Hey Dude, she had bangs.
yeah.
So that was kind of I couldn't remove that. Like I was stumped trying to picture it.
And her hair
Yeah.
was a lot different.
Dirty. It was
Yeah.
dirty blonde, not blonde.
Exactly.
And they made her not ice blonde, but yeah.
Yeah.
But I have to
Anyways.
say, oh, sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I want to share one of my favorite. Oh God, this is hard because this is real hard. Okay. My favorite, I'm going to say it. I'm going on record and say that
Wow.
my favorite 90s cartoon, Ren and Stimpy.
Oh my gosh, that's my favorite.
Oh my God. Neen, the humor.
Oh, completely.
I just can't. I love how irritated Ren always is. I identify with that. And I just love how gross the cartoon is. And I just, even as an adult, I will laugh, if I watch it. Like my favorite episode is when we find out that Ren does not brush his teeth and Stimpy brushes his every day and they're all sparkling white and he's like, whatever. And then his teeth fall out all at the same time and you hear like broken glass. And then this little like disgusting thing is sitting there chewing at his gum, but then he like stops because he's like, ew. And he puts on a hat, a coat, takes his briefcase and he leaps out of his mouth and leaves.
Oh my god.
It was a cavity.
See, that is our humor. And I think that's why I liked that show so much, is because it was this gross humor, but at the same time it was like, it was just freaking funny with some of the stuff they came up with, like weird stuff.
Yes.
Like that episode you just said, I could visualize it, me watching it and laughing hysterically, especially the sounds of the teeth just like shattering, right? But how they played out the whole skit of it was just crazy. And it was so funny. And what I liked was, even though it was Nickelodeon, it was like adult humor.
It was. It's what SpongeBob still does for me. Because I could sit and watch SpongeBob and I will laugh because it's hilarious.
Okay. I have never seen SpongeBob.
Okay. I literally, that hurts me. You're a mother. What?
You know what? That's so funny. You're like the third person that has told me that. They're like, has Presley seen the SpongeBob? I go, she knows who he is, but she honestly has never watched that. I've never seen it.
Oh my God. I love SpongeBob. Like back when I had cable and I wasn't living with Angel yet, that shit would be on in the morning while I was getting ready for work and drinking my coffee. Cute. Like it'd be on in the background.
And I only know SpongeBob obviously because he's the main character, but then like Patrick, I only know that because you had a fish named Patrick.
I know you remembered Patrick.
Yes. But I don't know anything about SpongeBob.
Oh my God, mean. Oh, okay. That's okay. He just know he's hilarious.
Yeah, everybody says so. I should try to watch it.
Also, you know what? Don't just start. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find you this really hilarious episode on YouTube and I'm going to send it to you. And you just watch it one day casually. It's so funny. Like,
okay. Okay, then, I'm gonna have to.
That way you can see like what the hype is because he's awesome. But like similar to Ren and Stimpy, for me also was Rocko's Modern Life. That's why I had to like pause for a minute because I had 4 favorite cartoons and it was Ren and Stimpy, Rocko's Modern Life, Doug, and Rugrats. But like Rocko comes after Ren and Stimpy for me because same hilarity. Hilarious. I loved the sound effects. Like whenever he would walk, his shoes would be like squeak, squeak. It was it was just ASMR the whole time. And the humor was disgusting humor again. And
Mhm.
but where they differ, like, so Doug differs from that because Doug was more, it's we're following a kid and
Mhm.
his dog, and there's, funny characters like the bully, and then the girl he has a crush on, Patty Mayonnaise, and
Mhm.
then Skeeter, his best friend. It wasn't really gross humor. It was more just like I identified,
Right.
with
Mhm.
Doug. Like he had a crush, and around that time we started having crushes. So,
Right. Exactly.
and then
No, that's true.
yeah, but in Rugrats was hilarious because I
I
again,
loved
sound
it.
effects. I loved the
Mhm.
baby. I loved Angelica,
Mhm.
hilarious. Chucky, so
Uh-huh.
cute. And then that episode where we learn why he doesn't have a mom. Oh, that's still, it's kind of like when we find out, when we see that scene of Dumbo and his mom and she's rocking him to sleep. Okay, it's
Mhm.
similar, that
Yeah.
when he's told about his mom. Like I can't
Mhm.
watch it. Like I have to change the channel. Like that,
Mhm.
I saw it once. That's the only time I need to see it.
Yeah, and with Rugrats, like that character Angelica, like usually on any other, like if it was a television show, not a cartoon, but with real life people, I would have been annoyed with
Me
her.
too.
But they made her character so like likable and
Yeah,
funny,
she was
and she was
hilarious.
sarcastic. So she was
Yes.
Tommy's older cousin, I think,
Cousin.
right?
Yeah.
Um and she's just like this, like she's so antagonistic, and but she was one of my favorites.
Me too.
And to this day, anytime I see a little bratty kid, I'm like,
Uh-huh.
you're so like Angelica from the Rugrats. Like
Yeah.
she has this, depicted a bratty kid to a T.
Yes, but again, like you said, it wasn't annoying because it was a
No,
cartoon. Like,
exactly.
and
Yeah,
she
they
was
didn't.
so
And
spoiled,
that's
but
what
it
I
wasn't
liked about
annoying.
that too, is that they didn't overkill it. Like I feel like
Hmm.
some shows overkill the personalities of certain characters,
Yeah.
and with her, they didn't. They did it perfectly. It was seamless, with the rest of the characters in the cartoon.
Yeah.
And I don't know, she just had this cute face. I mean, you really couldn't get mad at her with her dang pigtails.
She was so damn
You
cute. And
know?
her doll
Yes.
Cynthia that was bald, and except her
Which
hair was
reminds me of you in a way because of like your doll, Vanessa.
that I still have. She's in the garage. I can't get rid of
Yes.
her.
Aw. So cute. Yeah, no, Rugrats and the theme show, like everything not theme show, what is it? Theme song?
Theme
I can't
song.
talk.
Dun
I'm
dun
sorry.
dun
Like I
dun
said,
dun 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 dun
yes.
dun dun. Yeah.
And that's another thing too, is theme songs as far as cartoons and shows of the 90s. It's kind of like when we were younger. Remember, we used to buy CDs of theme
Yeah.
songs from like the 70s and 80s?
Yeah, for
But
sure.
it's the same thing for the 90s. Like, I couldn't tell you if I was on a game show right now, like Cash Cab, okay, and they told me I had to hum like a theme song from the 90s, from the 2000s, like from
Oh, I'd be
more,
screwed.
yeah, I wouldn't know anything.
Yeah, I
Really.
would be so screwed. But like, look, I'm gonna do one for you right now. Ready? Do 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 do
Oh,
do do
shoot.
do 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 do. Da
Oh my.
da 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 da.
Oh, wait.
No,
Wait. Isn't that, Hey Dude? No, wait.
no.
No. Wait. Do. Wait, I knew the last part. Wait, do it again.
Okay. Wait, the last part? Na na
Yeah.
na 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 na
Oh,
na.
Clarissa?
No, that's na 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 na
Yeah,
na.
see, I'm really bad at
It's
these.
it's it's Doug.
Okay, see, but see, they're all kind of similar if you think
I
about
know,
it, especially
bananas.
the end part. I'm like, what is that?
I
That threw me
know, I
off.
know. See, that did throw. See, that was my fault. But how about this? Where does this song come from? Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy, happy. Really?
I know. Oh my gosh, I'm having such a brain fart. Is that from Rugrats?
No,
No,
Ren and
wait.
Stimpy.
Oh shit. How do I not know that? See, okay, I'm gonna make a confession. Nickelodeon, I'm like I said earlier, I watched it, but honestly, I don't even think I knew it was a channel.
Oh,
Because I would just like come across it, I wasn't like, oh, let me tune into Nickelodeon. And I think that's why I got confused with like Fox
Yeah.
shows,
Yeah,
because
that makes
I would
sense.
always get the channels mixed up. So like a lot of the times when I stumbled on these shows,
Yeah.
I wasn't like, oh, they're coming on right now, because I really
Yeah.
didn't know. It was like, oh my gosh, the show's on. And it wasn't until I was older where I realized or knew what the names of the shows were. And I was like,
Right.
oh my gosh, I love that, because I watched all the episodes.
Yeah.
And oh my God, like Ren and Stimpy. Oh my gosh, I know that. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. See, I tell you, it could just be like I'm just old.
You're not old. It's just,
I
these
am. Look at
things.
my arm.
Oh my God, you're so cute. But what other shows can you think of that you
Oh,
really enjoyed from Nickelodeon from the
okay.
90s?
So if you're seeing like a pattern with me, is that I tend to like game shows and I tend to like talk shows kind of things. And I loved SNL growing up.
Yeah.
Um, that's why I liked all that.
All that. This is
Yes.
all that. Yes.
Exactly. And I just loved the characters, like so basically, if you're not sure what all that was, it was a show on Nickelodeon. It basically was kind of like a young kids version of SNL, where they did all these random skits and they reenacted them and they were funny, these parodies, right? Um, and they had some really good actors and actors. Some of them even went on, like, what is it? Is it Keenan or Kel? I always get them two
Yeah,
mixed
Keenan
up.
and Kel. They went.
Yeah, they
Well,
both were, and I know Keenan Thompson.
mhm.
He actually, I don't know if he's still on SNL, but he went on to
I
be on
think so.
SNL,
I
and
think
he is
so.
hilarious. I freaking
So
love him. I love
funny.
both of them.
They had a lot of success because off that like they had their little skit on that show, then that
Hmm.
translated into their own show
Yeah.
based off
Hmm.
of those characters, and then they just kept just excelling and still are. No, that
Hmm.
show was awesome. I mean,
Oh, it
Amanda
was.
Bynes came from that
Oh,
show, and
yes. Oh, complete poor Amanda
I
Bynes,
know.
because she had the Amanda show. Did
Yeah.
you watch the Amanda show?
No, I
Yeah,
think I
neither
was
did
getting
I.
older. Like,
Hmm.
yeah.
Same here,
I,
but we knew who she was, and she was in all that. The My favorite character though in all that was Lori Beth
yes,
Denver.
Lori Beth, the one
Oh
that
my
looked like
gosh.
somebody's aunt all the time.
Yes. And
Yeah.
she was so good at playing the older ladies, or like her comedy was just so
Yeah.
fluid. It was so like you just couldn't help but laugh. And she really didn't even have to say anything.
No.
Just her facial expressions alone killed me.
No, I agree. I think she was the best character on
Mhm.
that show by far. I am definitely in agreement with you there. She's so
And she was
talented.
so talented. You're right. She was just like, wow. And I don't even know if she's doing anything nowadays. And it's crazy. So, what's funny is when you watch these shows, I always thought that they were way older than us, but
Yeah.
they really were our age, a little bit
Yes.
older. Um, I mean, between her and I'm trying to think, there's one other person that, who else was on? Let me see. There's another guy on all that was funny too. And Gabrielle Iglesias was on there,
Oh, that's right.
and he became a big comedian. Jamie Lynn
Yeah.
Spears was on
Yeah.
there, which is
Yeah,
insane,
whatever.
right? Nick Cannon,
Yeah.
um, gosh, Kate Godfrey. Do you know who she is? Chris
Mm,
Farley was on there.
yeah.
A lot of people were Jojo Siwa.
Oh, my boo. You know what's so
Yeah.
funny though? It kind of reminds me of Kids Incorporated because
Oh,
that was a
yes.
classic on Disney, which we'll have to do a whole episode on Disney shows of the
Hmm.
90s. But like, you had Stacey Ferguson, who's
Hmm.
Fergie, and
Right.
what's her Martika, was it? Or was Martika and Mickey Mouse Club? But anyways, like
Mm.
it's the same concept.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, completely.
and also to piggyback off of your what you just brought up, all that.
Mhm.
I had a show similar, and I know you probably liked it too. Roundhouse. Do you remember
Ooh,
that?
vaguely.
So
Roundhouse. Let me look
it
this up.
it was on for 4 years, 92
Mhm.
to 96. It was during, it was part of the original Snick lineup.
Oh,
I think it
mhm.
was the last episode. And it was
Mhm.
like, it was in living color slash uh all that
Mhm.
slash Kids Incorporated. So like
Mhm.
you'd have people come in and dance before the commercials,
Yes, I
and
remember that.
so that was very much in living color Fly Girls, and then funny skits with like props they had around, and it
Mhm.
was awesome, and they were very talented. And I don't know that these I haven't seen any of these people
Mhm.
um in anything else. And that's makes me sad
Yeah,
because like I think every single person that was there was so talented.
for
Um
real. And that was
and
on for a while.
yeah, and there was two people that similar to Lori Beth,
Mhm.
right? So like two people that looked a little older that were the same age as the kids, but they would
Mhm.
play the mom and the dad. So it's
Mhm.
funny. It's like
Yes.
that's a thing. And
Wow. I
yeah,
forgot about Roundhouse. That's so
it
funny.
was such a
Cause
good show.
yeah, cause it was like in Living Color and how they had the dance like
The Flag
performance.
Girls, yeah.
Yes, exactly. Wow.
I
I
loved it.
completely forgot about that. That is
Yeah.
insane.
I'm
Huh.
hoping that they have this on Paramount because I would love to see it again.
Yes, absolutely. Did you ever watch Hey Arnold?
And off and on, and the only saving grace for me for that show really was Helga. I thought she was hilarious with how she hated Arnold on the outside, but she was deathly
Yeah.
in love with him. And
Uh-huh.
like whenever she would be by, she'd be like this, eyebrows straight, pissed. And
Uh-huh.
then she'd go to her room, she's like, that was the only saving grace for
And we
me.
all can relate,
We
right?
all can relate.
Yeah, it was one of those things too that if I came upon it, I was like, "Oh, it's cute," you know?
Yeah.
But I think it was one of those too where we were a little bit older. So, because it premiered in 1996. So we were already, in high school. So it would come on, maybe we'd watch it, but it wasn't something that we would have watched maybe like in grammar school that we were really hooked on.
Right.
Um, what's another show stuff that you liked?
I'm trying to think because one show that when I think about Nickelodeon that comes to mind, it's actually an 80s show, but the I think I'm going to mention it anyways because a 90s icon was one of the stars, and that's
Mhm.
no, you can't do that on television.
Oh, yes. Oh my gosh. That's genius. I forgot about that. But yeah, that's true. Probably forgot because like you said, it was started in the 80s.
Yeah, and it was Alanis Morissette, if you're wondering,
Mhm.
everyone out there. But yes, honorable mention. I feel like Alana should always just enter the conversation, no matter what we're talking
Always.
about. So definitely. And then there was some other cartoons out there, but I think I had just grown up and I was like,
Mhm.
I was set in my ways and I just wanted I didn't like Real Monsters. I didn't like
Right.
the Angry Beavers. Like I just liked
No.
the only new one, if you want to call it new, that I like and still do is the SpongeBob. But
Mhm.
so much goodness came out of this show. I love that it was a channel for kids, for tweens, for teens. I loved that in the morning it was geared more towards like babies and preschoolers. You
Mhm.
had Blue's Clues on
Right.
there, and then you had like Dora the Explorer, which is so cool. I think it's one of the best shows ever for kids
Mhm.
because you're learning a different language, and
Mhm.
that's amazing. And it was interactive, so like it invites like
Yes.
the child to like play along. And then the afternoon rolls around and you got like the innocent cartoons, and then around five
Mhm.
o'clock you get like Ren and Stimpy, and no, you get Doug, and then you work your way to Ren and Stimpy. But
Right.
my mom raised me correctly, and she educated me on really important shows like I
Mhm.
Love Lucy and
Mhm.
Dick Van Dyke
Yes.
and all those shows. So I'm a huge fanatic. And one thing I love about Nickelodeon is that 10 p.m. on, those shows would come on. So I was just
Mhm.
stoked.
Oh,
And
completely.
now I don't know that they aired any Brady Bunch on Nickelodeon. I might be wrong, but I think that was an ABC or NBC type of
They did
situation.
actually.
Oh,
So
great.
for Nick at Night, they did. 1995 they said, and then 1998 to 2002. So they did
Amazing.
run it for a pretty good man. And I mean, not only that, but like you said, Dick Van Dyke, Mork and
Mary
Mindy.
Tyler and Mary Tyler Moore. Yeah, Mork and
Hmm.
Mindy was on there. I mean, so many good shows. So
Oh,
it's like it
yes.
literally covered all bases. I think Nickelodeon and I believe that Disney may have seen the success and like I don't know that they were doing it before Nickelodeon. I think they piggybacked and were started
Hmm.
to offer like, oh, this is for everybody too.
Right.
So I just think Nickelodeon is one of the one channel that everybody in the family can actually enjoy. So
Hmm.
I love Nickelodeon. I'll always love Nickelodeon for that reason. So yeah.
No, same here. And that's the thing. There's something for everyone. And it's
Hmm.
the channel that you could change to where, like you said, you could sit there with your parents and watch, and your parents aren't going to have to say, close your eyes, or you're not going to have to get embarrassed. Or there's something for everyone where your child can relate, but also your kids can relate.
Yeah.
And there's between, and I mean, and so many stars came um from Nickelodeon. Like we have, like we said, Amanda Bynes, which poor thing, has mental illness and substance abuse, but she was, I mean, gosh, I loved all her movies before she went down the wrong path. Also,
Yeah.
I know, poor thing.
You
Also,
got
like, go ahead.
Oh, I didn't mean to interrupt, but
No.
the actress that played Alex Mack,
Yes, which I
that show
love
was
that show
awesome.
too. Forgot
And what was her
what's her name?
name? She was
L-
so pretty.
Larissa. I can't pronounce her last name because she was in Babysitter's Club,
Also,
that movie.
and she was also in 10 Things I Hate About You.
Yes, exactly.
What the hell? Olsen.
Olenek? Oleanik.
Puta, what
Can't
the hell was
remember.
her name? That's gonna bother me.
I know it's gonna bother me too. I want to say it was like
Larissa or something?
It was Larissa Oleanik. It was
No,
a
you're
weird.
right. Olia Nick. That's
Yeah,
her name.
okay, that was
Yeah,
it. Yeah, she
Larissa.
was darling. She really
Yeah.
was.
I
And
mean,
that
but
was a good show.
so many stars came out and I'm not sure that I heard anything. I guess never mind. I was gonna be all like, you don't really hear about any like tragic, you know how like Disney has a lot of
Yeah.
like, like the act Christy Carlson Romano's very
Mm-hmm.
vocal about the things that actors went through. And I was like, wow,
Mm-hmm.
Nickelodeon doesn't never mind.
Yeah, I think they all
Oh,
have their bit of that curse of being young and being
a child
an
star.
actor. Exactly. But like even Melissa Joan Hart, like she was huge and she
Oh
went
my
on to
God.
do a lot of things, and she
And
was
still
just
is.
so sweet. Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
I just loved her. I mean,
I,
but I'm trying to think, do you know if did they play Dream of Jeannie on there?
yes, at night.
See, I just love that freaking
And
show.
Bewitched.
Yes,
Yeah.
Baywitched.
Bay.
And they also okay, Bay. They also did the Jeffersons,
Yeah, they sure did.
the Monkeys. I know you
They
loved in the Partridge
sure
Family.
did.
Yeah,
Yes, and then they had Green Acres.
yes. Oh, Green Acres is a place to be. Even
Dun
though I never
dun.
really watched that, but and then they had like Looney Tunes too.
I love that. See, I'm so glad you said that because I don't know how, but yeah, because that was a Cartoon Network thing, but
Mm-hmm.
they had it for a minute. And I'm telling you, Neen, I saw a meme the other day. I think I put it on my Instagram. It was like, this is where I learned classical music from. And it was Bugs Bunny.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yes,
Yes.
anytime I hear like Beethoven or Mozart, a certain song, it's like
Mm-hmm.
I see Bugs up to no good.
Yes. No,
I
totally.
we learned so much from TV. I'm
We
telling you,
did.
like people are all, oh, TV just rots people's brains. Yeah, TV nowadays, maybe, but TV back in the
Yes.
day, it was nice and safe. So,
Oh, it was. And I wish, and it's so true when you say that because in history class, I really didn't learn a damn thing. And now that I'm older, I wish I really listened, but it really depends on the teacher. But I always remember that when the teachers would roll in, okay, those TVs, and we knew we were going to
uh,
watch a movie or documentary, I always listened and I always learned so much from those videos. And to
here,
me, that
here.
just proves that, like, for some, unless you're a really entertaining teacher and you know how to teach really well, especially history, because
Ugh.
you have to, I wish someone would have explained that importance to me. And that's what I tell Presley all the time. I was like, you're living in history. So, your grandchildren will eventually learn about the days that you're living in, right? And I feel like when it comes to TV, there's so many things that we could have learned even more so when we were younger, right?
I just feel I agree with you because I feel like some people are visual and audio like
Mm-hmm.
visual learners. I know I am. I know it sticks in my brain more because I feel like I love to read. I've always loved
Mm-hmm.
reading, but it depends on also what you're reading. So like history,
Yes.
perfect example. It's not going to stick in my head
No.
chapters 2 through 7 on the imperialistic age
Mm-hmm.
or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna watch it, like, oh, okay. Like, remember when we watched Roots in history class? Okay, that stuck more watching and seeing what the
Mm-hmm.
people went through as opposed to reading about it in a book. So TV
Completely.
is
Like
not
when we
bad,
went,
everybody.
right? For real. Even remember we went and saw Amistad?
Yeah.
Even though that was so sad, but it's stuck in our head
Yeah.
because not everybody is good at visualization, even though you may read a lot. Like you said, it's, and I think with Nickelodeon, that was the nice thing about that channel is that they, like you said, they taught you things. And maybe it was just the time of that day and age where it's kind of like with the Brady Bunch or what was the one where we said they get Full House, where they give you it's you have the
Lesson.
show, but they have a lesson at the end.
Exactly.
And I feel like it's just the sign of the times where our morals and the way we are as like a culture is kind of losing that. And that's sad, especially for the young kids,
I
because
agree.
they should have examples like we did through channels like Nickelodeon and I don't know, was there any other channels? Because I was going to say MTV, but I don't know with those, Lake Havasu spring breaks we used to watch. But I'm trying to think. There was no other
It was like,
PBS.
yeah, but that wasn't
Mm-mm.
as
Exactly.
captivating, I would say. So Nickelodeon, Nick Jr., Nick at
Hmm.
Night, all
Right.
of that. It was you were going to get good quality TV. And,
Completely.
your kids would learn. So I absolutely love it. I still love it.
And I would
Yay.
encourage if you have children to, and because that's what I did with Presley with Punky Brewster, is that,
Yeah.
they're young. They don't know that this is a show from the 80s. Obviously, it would look a little different, but, and it's just like Full House. Same thing I did to her. Just play it. They don't know any different and they will like it just as much as we did. And I think all these shows, I would say I would not have any problem with Presley watching them.
Right. I agree. I would probably feel the same way if I had kids.
Yeah. So
Definitely.
I don't know. I think that was a good one. It was a nice trip down memory lane, and it makes me want to go onto Paramount and check them
Yes.
out.
I just have
So,
to say, Neen, like, thank God you told me about Paramount
mhm.
because my life and world has changed. I'm like rewatching MTV's Las Vegas Real
Oh,
World right now.
okay. Oh, Trishelle.
And Trishelle, you know, yeah, Trishelle. And
Mm-hmm.
I love all the Nickelodeon stuff. So thank you for that. And guys,
Of
if you
course.
had no idea what we were talking about today, you can easily educate yourselves by going on to Paramount Plus for $4.99 a month. You too can know the power and wonder that is, hey, dude, Ren and Stimpy, all of that stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
that was
Yeah.
awesome, Nate. Thank you so much. My heart
Yes.
needed this one today because it was a particularly stressful weekend, and that was awesome. I can't, I mean, it sounds like your crew over there agrees, and
Yeah. Tell me about it.
and
They want to
I,
watch Nickelodeon.
yes, I say we all get some ice cream and watch Nickelodeon today.
I agree. I think I'm gonna go tune on to Paramount Plus and check out what I could find on there because I'm
Yeah,
excited for
I'm
sure.
excited. I'm excited too, and then we could like watch a show and like talk about it.
I think we should. I think that should
Yeah.
be a segment. Who knows?
Definitely. Yeah. I would love to
Because
cover salute your shorts.
yeah, I think we should too. Like we could just, we'll play around with it. We'll chat, but I think it was great. Thank you so much, Steph, because I needed this as well.
Oh,
I'm
honey.
still coming off the weekend, feeling a little rusty.
You're adorable. You don't look rusty, but I'm
Oh
glad I got to see
man,
your cute face. And I'm so excited for everyone to listen to this. And I hope you,
yes.
excuse me, I hope you like it. And if you guys have any ideas for topics that you would like to hear us talk about, please let us know on our Instagram page.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we have an Instagram page. And yes, we have a YouTube channel. And
Ooh,
yes, we have a TikTok. So find us, follow us, and holler at us.
yes,
But
there's no excuse not to find us.
exactly, we're everywhere. Just
Yes.
like that. Just like Are You Afraid of the Dark
I was just gonna
characters.
say that.
Just like the girl in the mirror, we're
Yes.
everywhere.
Yikes. Oh, you know what? Real quick, whenever it's dark, I'm always afraid of
Aha.
looking mirrors.
I don't because of because the Bloody Mary thing.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Exactly. See, we scars from our childhood.
Yeah, no doubt. Ooh, on that note, Steph.
On that note, catch you on the flip side, Neen.
Oh yeah, peace out, buddy.